Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about why at the beginning of a narcissistic relationship we in essence fall in love with ourselves, and why at the end of the narcissistic relationship we are the ones left questioning whether or not we are the narcissistic one. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. So when it comes to ourselves, especially if you're raised by narcissistic parents, but you don't have to be raised by narcissistic parents to be able to recognize your own faults, your own flaws, your own mistakes, your own insecurities, your own vulnerabilities. You can either be conditioned by a narcissistic parent to put yourself down. You can be conditioned by narcissistic teachers. You can be conditioned by narcissistic friends. You can be conditioned by people who are not narcissistic to pull yourself down. Rather than looking for your good qualities, looking for your worst qualities. We can all make mistakes, and when we take ownership of these mistakes, sometimes we can hold on to those mistakes a little bit too long for our own good. We can also downplay our good side because we don't want to come across as arrogant, even though it's not arrogant to see the good within yourself. That's called confidence. Arrogant people don't see their bad. Arrogant people pull down other people. They pull down other people's good qualities to feel better about themselves. Confident people can recognize their mistakes that they make, have confidence in their ability to learn and develop from those mistakes, and raise other people up. However, especially if you were raised by narcissistic parents, you've been conditioned to not see your abilities. You've been conditioned to look at the worst within you and look for the good within others. So when you first meet a narcissist, whether it's a partner or a friend, they will love bomb you. They will idolize you. And part of that love bombing, idolizing, is all the future faking, is their mirroring. And we can all mirror people. It's a normal part of day-to-day life, which is why we don't question it. It's usually done subconsciously. We pick up traits of other people and we appreciate who other people are. We build a connection with people, a bond with people. We care about people. Somebody can do something that we admire or we also like doing. A certain hobby. Just because one person likes a hobby doesn't mean we don't have to. It also means, more likely than not, we do like that hobby. So we can build up communication in regard to that hobby, or a past life experience that we've lived that's similar. We can have communication and build up a connection on it. So mirroring is a part of day-to-day life. With a narcissist, they take this to the next level. They are literally gathering data on who you are as a person to match you like for like. And when you don't particularly see the good within yourself, it can feel nice when somebody compliments the good in you. Although with a narcissist, it's not compliments, it's flattery, because they want something from you. They're not recognizing this within you to be supportive of you. They're recognizing this within you to influence you into seeing the good in them, which is actually the good within you. So anything that you're good at, they're going to go all out to be good at, so that you can admire that within them because more often than not, you might not admire that within you. Anything you like doing, they're going to like doing too. They can also come up in an arrogant manner, but we don't recognise this. They can start talking about things that they've done that perhaps if you'd done, you wouldn't be so proud of. Yet, because you recognise that you can make mistakes and they're stood there telling you and taking ownership for this mistake, we can almost admire them for doing this. So when we meet a narcissist, as they are reflecting back to us who we are, or with that future faking, what we would like to see, they collect that data, they learn what we would like out of our future. So if you'd like to get married, they'd like to get married. If you don't want to get married, they don't want to get married. If you'd like to travel the world, they want to travel the world. If you don't want to travel the world, they don't want to travel the world. So it's not a case of meeting someone, recognising that your values and beliefs don't match and that you don't want the same things out of life. So agreeing to disagree and part ways. When you meet a narcissist, they want the same things as you because they are selling you an illusion of a future that they will not deliver because it's not who they are. It's who you are as a person. Once they get you hooked, once they've baited you through who you are as a person, through the future faking, into the relationship, out comes their projection, which is often their shadow side. Carl Jung did some amazing research on the shadow side. I did do a video on this last year, which I'll link into the description. When you get into the relationship with a narcissist, and a narcissist will realise that you are not perfect. We know within ourselves that we are not perfect. They don't want to recognise their imperfections. We are all imperfectly perfect. They do not want to recognise their imperfections. They do not want to admit fault. They do not want to take responsibility for their own behaviour, which in one way is then taken into their shadow side, which they don't want to see. They avoid seeing this by projecting the worst in them onto you. So, for example, because a narcissist is always right, because they will never admit fault, only if it works in their favour, they can circle around never-ending arguments because there's never a resolution with a narcissist. Therefore, because nothing ever gets solved with a narcissist, you might keep bringing things up from the past to try and resolve them, which a narcissist is then going to accuse you of bringing things up from the past, which you can recognise that you're doing. So you stop and question yourself rather than questioning what they are doing to you. A narcissist often has some deep trust issues, and this can be due to their shadow side and who they are as a person that they don't want to admit to because they deep down know what they do to others, or they might be aware of what they do to others, whether it is instinctively or intentional. They lack the empathy to care. They twist the story, they twist the narrative into why somebody deserves to be treated in such a horrific way by them. However, because they've got trust issues, they're going to set the environment. They're going to create those trust issues within you, and then they're going to accuse you of having those trust issues. A narcissist is going to get you into so much emotional turmoil because nothing ever gets resolved, because they're provoking all these negative emotions within you, because you can't go and discuss these emotions with them. They bottle up and bottle up and bottle up until eventually there's no more room in that bottle. The lid pops off and you explode. And when it comes to a narcissist, they know exactly what to use to chip away at you, to provoke you, because they learned all about you in the beginning. So they know exactly what to use, whether that's using your biggest fear, whether that's using your biggest insecurity, whether that's using the things you care about the most, as these are the things you'll most passionately defend. They will chip away at you until you explode, until you rage out at them in sheer frustration, not recognising what they're doing to you, because you just cannot take anymore. And as soon as the narcissist has that reaction from you, they're going to go right ahead and blame everything on you. They're going to suddenly be all calm and all smug. A narcissist will stand there and watch you cry with a glint in their eye over the pain they've caused you, with no remorse. Instead, they will train you to blame yourself for the pain that you are in. And when you're in that emotional turmoil, when you are in that anxiety, when you are sinking further into despair and depression, you can then fall silent on people, because you no longer have the emotional ability to deal with life, to deal with situations, to deal with things. You no longer have the confidence within yourself to speak your mind for fear of reactions from other people. So you can then question why you're falling silent on others. And when people hurt our feelings, we might not know what to say. So we can fall silent on people. When a narcissist then falls silent on us, we don't question their behaviour. We wonder what we did to them to cause them to fall silent on us. Because from our understanding, from our perspective, from our intentions, if we were to fall silent on someone, it's usually because that someone's done something to hurt us, and we don't have the emotional dialogue to communicate with them at that present moment in time. With a narcissist, they've usually done something to hurt us, and they don't want to communicate with us about this. Therefore, they're going to fall silent on us, and we're going to overthink, overanalyze everything, and try our hardest to make it up to them for the things they're doing to us. And after we've exhausted every single avenue, we might fall silent on them. We might get to a point where we're that fed up of them saying to us, that never happened, I never said that, you misunderstood me, that because we get backed into a corner, we might then turn around to them at some point and say, I never said that, you misunderstood me. To kind of, it is game playing, but it's not game playing to offend them or hurt them. It's game playing to protect ourselves, which in one way is what a narcissist is doing. However, they've conditioned you into acting like them so that they don't have to be held responsible for their actions towards you. So more often than not, when it comes to a narcissistic relationship, due to the narcissist mirroring, you end up falling in love with what you would like out of life, with who you are as a person. So when it comes to separating from a narcissist, you have to start looking inwards and questioning yourself as to, who am I? What makes me happy? What do I enjoy doing? Do I enjoy cutting hair? Do I enjoy driving a lorry? Do I enjoy helping others? Do I enjoy serving food? Do I enjoy baking cakes? Do I enjoy playing football? Whatever it is that you enjoy as a person, and then either incorporate that into your life as a hobby or as a career to give you something to strive forward for within your life, to fall in love with who you are as a person. And yes, fear can hold us back, lack of Confidence can hold us back. It's a learning curve. If we don't try, we're not going to know. Nobody gets up and kicks a football perfectly every time. Even those who train on a daily basis can still miskick that ball. It can still knock their confidence sometimes, which is when we just have to get up and go again and practice and practice and practice and become good at the things that we enjoy. There's that saying, I can't remember it fully, it's something along the lines of good at all trades, a master of none. So we have to find the one that we are a master at, the one that we enjoy, the one that we are passionate about. So when those hard days hit, we have something that gets us back out of bed in that morning to strive for. Because life is painful, life is hard. And we do have to recognise that, and we have to recognise that we have the ability to find the coping strategies to see ourselves through. Because when it comes to the end of the relationship, due to the narcissist projection, we are the ones questioning everything about who we are, everything about who they are. We are the ones wondering if we're the toxic person, if we're the narcissistic person, if we're the bad person, if only we hadn't have done this, or if only we'd have done that. When in reality, we've exhausted every single possible option towards us to make it work with them until we were left so drained, we had no choice but to move away from them, whether they discarded you or you discarded them. And when it comes to recovery from the narcissist projection, from questioning whether we are the narcissist or not, usually if you're asking that question, technically it means you're not. However, there's no wrong with exploring those things within yourself to gain greater understanding. But one method is to know your reason why. Know your intentions before you do something, so nobody can alter the perspectives of your intentions after you've done something. With good intentions, there's no wrong way or right way to live your life. There is only your way. Yes, we can make a mistake. Yes, we can feel guilty for that mistake. That guilt is to teach us not to do that again, to learn from that mistake and move forwards. As narcissists often don't recognise the mistakes they make and pass the blame onto somebody else. They shame another person for their behaviour. They don't recognise that mistake. They don't learn from that mistake, and they do not change their behaviour. Unfortunately for us, because we can recognise our own mistakes, when a narcissist makes a mistake, we believe they can recognise theirs too. So we forgive them. Perhaps once too often, when forgiveness is for ourselves, to forgive ourselves for not having the knowledge and the understanding of what we were dealing with at that time, to be able to make the correct informed life choices to work for us. And now we do have, or we are gaining the knowledge and understanding, we can now make the choices to make our lives work for us and no longer against us. If anyone has any thoughts on the video, please add those into the comments. I shall link into the description the video on the narcissist mirroring, because it explains a lot more about that, and the video on the shadow side, because it also explains a lot more about the shadow side. Go out there, create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.